Seattle seemed to me like small, cold, windy city with nothing but rain and rain and rain. Not a place for a comfy software developer like me. On the other hand, Seattle is described as one of the best places to live by all the tech magazines, GeekWire, TechBeacon, and so on. All the tech giants are already there. Amazon, Microsoft, Facebook, Oracle, IBM, Adobe, all the big names. So if you're interested in salary, cost of living, rent, housing, search away. And let me tell you, the numbers are there and they look good. Believe me, to uproot your life and move somewhere else, money is often not enough. There has to be something else. You have to kind of like the city. So today on Having Coffee with Smok, we'll take a look what Seattle has to offer. Grab a mug and enjoy. Walking around Seattle, I didn't expect for a city to show me such a friendly face right away. It is not only extremely beautiful, with its hilly downtown, fantastic waterfront, unique architecture and landmarks, but most importantly, people here are extremely friendly. During my short stay, many strangers approached me to talk, compliment my jacket, give a photo tip, or even to pose to the camera out of the blue. I had no idea what's going on. It seemed surreal to me, and yet so sincere. Hello, can I have round trip ticket, please?
For one?
For one, yes.
$5. Thank you.
Thank you. So this is Monorail in Seattle. One and only vehicle when you can sit next to the driver. Oh, nice. For $5, you can take a round trip from Westlake Center, right in the middle of Seattle, to Space Needle and become World Fair tourist from 1960s. Dream about landing on the moon and the conquer of space.
We're facing all the way out right now, the north of the big white wall getting in your way. As soon as that's out of the way, the entire Queen Anne Hill immediately in front of us, our first residential neighborhood.
Yeah, let's go all the way. Like find a nice spot to sit. So we are in the Space Needle. Have you ever heard about world fairs? These were invented in 1850s as a way to show off stuff before internets. One of the first was held in London in Crystal Palace, when it stood in Hyde Park. The other one was in Paris, and they built Eiffel Tower for that. Seattle held its own almost 60 years ago. For this event, the city built a science park called Pacific Science Center, Space Needle Observation Tower, and form of transport from space, Monorail. The views from Space Needle are breathtaking. You have full 360-degree view on entire downtown, Lake Union and Elliott Bay. To top it off, there are 2 observation decks. Lower deck has a glass floor, which is constantly rotating, completing full revolution every 45 minutes. So, to take this time lapse, you guessed it, I spent an almost entire hour there. Very nice, yes. Bainbridge, that's the name. This is a ferry to Bainbridge Island. This is harbor.
When I let you collide, felt colder inside your bones. Where was I when I let you decide your courage instead to be here?
We went to Bainbridge Island just to have an excuse to get on a ferry. Swimming isn't my strong suit, but I love being near the water and all kinds of boats and ships. This one takes around 30 minutes to cross the bay and costs $8.50 both ways. Season was slowly starting, so some sailboats and kayaks were already on the water. If only I decided to go through with my sailing license.
inside when I let you decide you couldn't stand to be here.
We're in the Seattle's Museum of Glass with this sculpture, whatever. So we figured out that we could get one ticket cheaper for 3 things at once: Chihili Glass Museum, Museum of Flight, and the Space Needle. Apparently, that wasn't the best idea because later we realized the ticket is valid for 1 day only, so we had to hurry. Luckily, usually these places are swarming with people, but somehow we managed to get everywhere without queues. Museum of Glass was pretty intense. I mean, I know nothing about blowing glass, apart from that is very difficult. I was surprised how big and serious are those pieces. You can get really close to these things. I mean, pieces of art. I was astonished that they are from this delicate glass and they are still standing.
And welcome to the Museum of Flight.
Who did that? Just come back out.
The main attraction, space toilet. We are in the space shuttle, doing the space shuttle stuff. Like we shuttle to space. This is the serious descent almost up from 2009. Quickly, we have error 15. What do we do? Anshi, what do we do? We have error 15. Can you fix this?
Also war going very much.
What you doing there, Jimmy? Jimmy, leave that plane alone. Jimmy, I'm talking to you. What you doing there? Jimmy? Hello.
Hi, good afternoon. Welcome aboard.
Yeah, thank you. Finally, we arrived at the Museum of Flight. If you want to go there, be prepared for an hour on the bus. It is located around the old Boeing factory. Seattle and Boeing have long history. This is the original home of Boeing, and city was hugely depending on work the company provided. Unfortunately, in the 70s, Boeing had terrible financial problems and had to reduce employment, bringing the entire city to a halt. Back in the day, every sixth home was emptied due to people moving out to find jobs somewhere else. You definitely can't feel the effects of Boeing bust now. Seattle is filled with people, happy and busy. Most of them is somehow related to IT, so if you're into living in an area filled with professionals, with many options to choose from, relatively low cost of living with decent wages, pay Seattle a visit, even if it's only to drink a cup of coffee in the first Starbucks ever.